From
Hello,
the
sir.
Pressbox. How are you doing, Leroy?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, we're about to get blown away by a tornado. It's going to be fun.
A nader's coming to get you?
It's something like that. No, yeah, we've been just watching this edge of this weather that's been coming. And as you know, in our industry, it could mean that we have to work all night. and the worst part is us working all night in a scenario like that means it's gone really bad. So hopefully I'm going to be able to sleep at a regular time today because nothing has happened locally.
I always joked when I came to the Army, if you saw me running, it was never a good thing.
I don't know that I've ever seen you run. Have I? I don't know when I would have.
When was I going to run in college?
No, I mean, and you got to think for a good portion of college, you were walking with a cane.
That's true.
So,
that's
and
true.
you weren't doing any running then.
I had all those knee issues, man. They were brutal.
As I always say, I only run when I'm being chased. So, and that's not something that happens.
Against the bear we're going to see the track champion?
Listen, that's the thing. Like, I remember one time, and we had a dog that was a runner growing up. So it'd be one of those things that if the door would open, she'd take off. And she was fast. I remember one day she did that. And I chased her down. And I remember my neighbor was out. And she's like, you thought about running track? Because it was literally like, it was one of those scenarios. It's kind of like the whole of how a mom can theoretically have the adrenaline rush to lift a car off of I think it was kind of one of those scenarios where I was just moving faster than my body
could even do it. Instincts kicked in. That's so adorable. But Buttons would be thrilled.
Oh, freaking buttons. Buttons. In fact, I had a video pop up yesterday. Was a day that he tried his first Irish car bomb. Should have sent you the video. Because
how'd that work out for him?
You were there, I believe. I think you were in the video.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Because half of it he wore down his front.
Yes, that's right. Because I think he wouldn't do it unless I did it too, or something stupid like that.
You could never really know with him. But on the show today, little Final Four, little baseball. I've got Paul's stats of the week. I've got you'll have some tidbits, I assume. We'll have logos. We'll have play clock. We have a brand new bracket coming out as well. We'll learn a little bit more about that later on. I assume we'll have some autographs, and we'll have our NASCAR pick. But first off, last week at Martinsville, finally was a good week for myself. I'd struggled back-to-back weeks. 54 points, Denny Hamlin for myself. Leroy, you got 19 for picking Alex Bowman. Paul got 31 for picking Ryan Blaney. Mike also picked Denny Hamlin, getting 54. And Steven, he picked Rusty Wallace, but Bubba Wallace finished with 42 points. I'm going to give Steven the 42 points there, just to give it to him. He said, Rusty Wallace, Bubba Wallace, they're the same thing, right? So the overall standings right now are...
I'll protest later on. Fine.
Go ahead. Protest all you want. Paul is winning 211. I have 207. You have 197. John has 125. Bert is 58, and so on. Actually, that's not Bert with 58. That's Mike with 58 as that. So there you go. Those are it. They'll be racing at Darlington this week. We'll have our pick a little bit later on in the show. So make sure you drop that in there. The baseball season. I know first off, too, we want to make sure we give a shout out to Paul celebrating his anniversary today. So because of that?
No. The reason that man is not on the show tonight is because his Braves don't know how to win baseball. That's why he's on the show. He missed the show tonight because he knew. He sent
me a message earlier this week, and he goes, looks like I need to start looking into Indy 500 tickets. I said, well, the pro is it's not like not like the Cubs have been much better.
I mean, listen, I know it's a small sample size, but they absolutely put a hurting on the Athletics. Hey!
There he is. Paul has popped in here. He says he's going to be listening while he's driving, as I think they said he was in Savannah.
We do want to wish you a very
happy anniversary.
Yes, absolutely. How she put up with you?
Yeah, God bless your
years.
wife. Yeah.
Good Lord.
9 years, I think is what I saw.
Bless her, man.
Yeah.
How she put up with you, I'll never understand, but
But looks like Paul, at least 1 week into the season, which is perfect time for Leroy's overreactions of the season. So I guess his overreaction is the Cubs are great and the Braves are terrible.
Correct. Although they are beating the Dodgers right now 5-3 in the fifth. So there is hope.
The Braves scored 5 runs?
Yeah, listen, if Rafael Devers can break his 0-for-21 start, the Braves can win a couple games. All right. It's gonna be okay.
I love the Reds. They outscored the Rangers this week 14-5 and went 1-2.
Yeah.
Won the first game 14-0 and lost the last 2 games 1-0.
It's been impressive reading the comments on the Reds fan pages. It really has. Everything from Tito's washed up to Ellie's playing hurt to you have no bullpen. I'm telling you, it has been quite the enjoyable thing to know that every single fan base hates their team.
Losing 1-0, 1-0 is the bullpen's fault.
Yes.
It's the bullpen's fault.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I just love that every fan base hates their team. Every single one.
Yeah, and I'm just I like that now. Since I have the FanDuel Sports Network that I've been able to watch, like that's been really nice. Being able to actually not have to illegally stream, it has been awesome.
Dave and Linda and Leroy have split marquee, so I pay for half and they pay for half.
Have they caught on yet?
I asked my mom. I said, "How are you enjoying the games?" She goes, I need you to come over and set it up for me. I don't know how to get it to work. Okay, Mom, I'm coming over. So I go over there. Well, they've got an LG TV. That's where they get all their stuff through.
So do I.
LG doesn't carry marquee. So I literally had to go into the web browser on the TV.
I am a Fire Stick.
Put it on a bookmark for marquee. Give them all my information so that they can log in whenever they want.
Go buy your mom a Fire Stick.
I know. But they got it working. My dad said he watched them play at the Athletics, and they won. So
yeah, the Athletics too.
By the way, I was saving her for my tidbits. This has been a disaster for the Athletics in Sacramento. I mean, I'm telling you, it has been one thing after the other. They brought out Ricky Henderson's daughters to throw out the first pitch. And they brought out the daughters to throw out the first pitch. The PA mic cut out while they were announcing the women coming onto the field. The press media area looks like they went to Lowe's and bought like a $1,500 shed. It's just a big, long, like greenhouse shed, which I don't know about you, but Sacramento gets hot in July. So like that's going to be miserable come July, August to be out there in that shed trying to answer media questions and stuff like that. But they're going to have that all. That was all set up for them. The radio, the TV feed for both the Cubs and the Athletics cut out midway through the fifth. The Athletics switched to their radio feed while the Cubs didn't have a backup connection. So the Cubs had to go back to 670 The Score, which is airing college basketball. And during the college basketball talk, they would give updates on the Cubs game during the college basketball conversation. And I say this with all the love that I possibly can. It's so nice to see failures at the highest level possible, because you and I talk about issues that we have getting a game on the air, all the plan Bs and plan Cs. This is supposed to be the best of the best. One of the TV drones fell on the field during the game. Like it has just, and not to mention the fact that Let's Go Oakland and Chance of Sell the Team were consistent through the entire series. Which by the way, the Cubs outscored them like 45-10. Like it was just an absolute, horrible opening three game set for the Athletics. Just awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1 week into the season as far as for the Reds. Like people are panicking, and I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it while I can, and that's the best part about it. But yeah, the Braves look like they might be picking up their first win of the season, which will cause Leroy to start to panic that he might have to break out the Aaron Rodgers jersey at old Lambeau Field. The Final Four is set as well for the first time since 2008, and only the second time in the history of the NCAA tournament. All 4 number 1 seeds made it.
Our guy won the our guy won the office bracket because he didn't pick a single upset in the entire tournament. So naturally, he did the best because there was hardly any upsets at all in this tournament this year.
I've already won ours too. No matter what happens, because I can, if I missed all of the games left, I still have you know how you see like the max points. And it's funny because Christy, you know, my boss's wife, would finish 1 point behind me if that would happen. But again, I think she might have Florida in the championship as well. So I don't really know, but is what I have. So I have Florida against Alabama. Alabama's out. So I still have Florida rolling in there. I just hope Duke doesn't win it. And I'm not saying that because I'd like to see Florida win it or Houston.
Christy got 3 out of 4 of her Final Four correct. Did horrible. Finished awful. But got 3 out of the Final 4 in the tournament. I was like, all right, shout out. That's
who'd she miss? Houston?
Duke.
Oh, interesting. So we're the same when it comes to that. Houston is a team that they play a brand of basketball that you don't see very often anymore. I mean, it's roughhouse, it's defense, but Kelvin Sampson is just such a good coach. He's such a good coach, and they put it on Tennessee, which I enjoyed.
I bet you did.
Very, very much enjoyed, especially after. But I mean, listen, on Friday, I told you I didn't think Kentucky was going to win the game against Tennessee. I didn't have a great feeling going into it. Now, I didn't think that they were going to get their absolute brains beat in, which is what kind of happened. But hey, that's basketball, you know. But yeah. I think it's still made for a fun. And I'm excited to watch the games on Saturday as long as we're not blown away by a tornado between now and then.
Yep.
Do you have any tidbits?
I do. Let's get to it. Big brawl in the Minnesota Timberwolves game. That was awesome to see. They, you know, if a fight broke out on
is this the one a couple of days ago?
Yeah. If
okay.
a fight
I was making sure there wasn't another one.
If a fight broke out on the court and they all landed on top of you in that front row, how hard would it be not to what would your reaction be? Would you try to like duck out of the way, or would you like
self-defense? It would be self-defense. Yeah.
They got at me.
Yeah. Also depends on who it is.
The Timberwolves actually sell. The Timberwolves were sold. Glenn Taylor sees ownership of the Timberwolves and links to a team that includes Alex Rodriguez. And let's just put it this way. He made a pretty penny and didn't even charge top price for him. So that's got to tell you something. Glenn Taylor just got what he could and was happy about it. And they're like, dude, you could have asked for a whole lot more. And Glenn was like, I'm a billionaire already. I don't care.
Must be nice.
Right? Like, my goodness. We have we don't do this segment too often, but we have our Idiot of the Week. So we head out to Grundy County, Tennessee, and I saw this story this morning. I laughed so hard. Grundy County, Tennessee, which is over near Chattanooga. It's about 30 miles west of Chattanooga. A woman got involved in a hit and run. Ended up killing the man on the bike, and it was all really, really sad. And the police were trying to find who did this hit and run. A woman who followed the page was sharing all of these articles about the daughter looking for who hit their dad. Please help me find whoever hit my dad. Their vehicle's missing part of their bumper. And this woman keeps sharing all of them. Turns out she was the one who hit the man. She was sharing all of these posts about the guy getting hit, and it was her. She got arrested a couple hours later. So good job on that one. I couldn't pass that story up. That was pretty spectacular. A Newcastle fan got a QR code tattooed on his leg, linking a video of Dan Burns' goal in the Carabao Cup final. Rival fans, the Mass reported the video to get it taken down from YouTube.
No, that's mean.
Everybody's throwing a fit about torpedo bats, despite the fact that torpedo bats have been used for the last 2 years. So, your thoughts on torpedo bats, sir?
I don't care.
I didn't think you would. Sacramento State plans to file an application with the NCAA this week to transition from the FCS to the FBS in football as an independent. The school has already filed a waiver to transition as an independent in football, which requires NCAA approval. The Arizona Diamondbacks all-star second baseman Ketel Marte has agreed to a 6-year, $116 million contract extension, which begins this season. The deal runs through 2030, includes a player option in 2031 for $11.5 million. I can't even believe it's 20, not to mention 2030. Get out of here. After starting the season 0 for 21, Rafael Devers finally has his first hit of 2025. He had 15 Ks in his first 5 games. Tony Gwynn went a year and only struck out 15 times. So the game has changed quite a lot.
Yeah.
The Bulls clinched a play-in spot, which goes to show you that if you're above average 500 team, you can too make the play. And they're not even above 500. They're like 34-42. But talk about mediocre. Good job. Off to the best start in franchise history, the Padres finalized a 9-year contract extension with 21-year-old all-star center fielder Jackson Merrill on Wednesday morning. And, man, I tell you what, the Padres have looked good. Alex Ovechkin scored another goal. He has 3 goals as we sit right now, 3 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record for most goals ever in a career. I know you don't care, but that's a really big deal.
I didn't say anything.
The NFL has released their top 10 draft picks that they think that's going to go in the mock draft. Tennessee picks up Cam Ward. Cleveland picks up Abdul Carter. The Giants pick up Travis Hunter. Patriots pick up Will Campbell. Jaguars pick up Mason Graham. Raiders pick up Jalen Walker. I don't see them passing on Ashton Gianti, but who knows? New York picked up Armand Membo. Carolina Panthers, Michael Williams. New Orleans Saints, Jihad Campbell. And the Bears pick up Ashton Gianti. They've got the Bengals.
There's just, Mike Green, right?
Mike Green, yep.
There's no way that Shooter Sanders doesn't go in the top 10.
No way. Yeah, I agree.
There's just no way. Somebody is going to, and like we were talking about it on Jungle Juice, our Bengals podcast.
A bad thing.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if another quarterback sneaks up into that top 10, top 15 range, just because if you want to be good in the NFL, you have to have a quarterback. And whether it's Jackson Dart, he's probably the most likely to sneak up there and maybe find himself in the top 10 or the top 15. But, I mean, it's not the greatest offensive player draft as far as skill guys. Ashton Gianti he's the best running back. But as far as wide receiver-wise, you've got Ted McMillan from Arizona, but like Luther Burden is dropping and so on. So you're seeing primarily a lot of defense, whereas last year it was almost entirely offense to open up.
The Jets have announced that they are going with Justin Fields as their starting quarterback. We fully support Justin Fields. Jets gonna jet.
I'm just ready for the Steelers to sign Aaron Rodgers.
I'm telling you, I know you've been waiting for a while. Every day, April Fools had to kill you.
I am just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. Are you ready for Paul's stat of the week?
Yep, let's go.
Paul's stats of the week. Do you want your Cubs one or your just baseball one in general to open us up?
Mike, Cubs had the bats last year. They dealt with injuries and didn't have a bullpen, something that they're dealing with this year as well. They just don't have a bullpen this year either. Cubs stat.
Your Cubs stat first. Cubs Hall of Famer, is this Rynie Sandberg? Ryan?
It's actually Ryan.
I've never heard of him. Ryan Sandberg is one of only 4 major league second basemen to ever hit 40 home runs in a season. He hit 40 home runs in what year?
91.
Oh, so close. 90. One of his 10 consecutive All-Star seasons, and how many consecutive Gold Gloves?
23.
He did not have 23 consecutive Gold Gloves. He had 9 consecutive Gold Glove seasons.
Should have been 23.
And then Will Clark.
Yes.
Remember Will Clark?
Will the Thrill.
He homered in his first at-bat at all of single A, double A, triple A, and the major leagues.
Every level.
Paul's stats of the week.
Did you see Carson Kelly hit for the cycle? He's the first catcher in a long time to hit for the cycle.
What's funny is I was almost going to do, I hadn't done a Who Am I in a while. And I was going to do Mark Grace. And the last clue was going to be I was the last Chicago Cub to hit for the cycle. Would you have known that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's been a well-known thing.
So until Ellie hit it against some team from the South this year before last.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce their name. I think they're winless this year. Ellie just dominated them and hit for the cycle. The last one was an 89 Eric Davis for the Reds. So it was always that long going stat from that until he broke.
Cubs broadcasters said that there was 261 years that came a triple shy of hitting the cycle between 1993 and now. That's the hardest part to get out of the whole thing is getting that triple.
I mean, in my Road to the Show game I played a little bit earlier, I was a double shy of the cycle. But I hit 2 homers.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dude. Carson Kelly looked like he needed oxygen when he got to third base. Like, bro was not going to make it. He said later on, he goes, "That's the fastest I've ever ran in my life."
All righty, are you ready to cue the music?
Oh, yes, let's go.
I'm Leroy. As last week we got a 4 in our random. You pick the ones. This actually is an actual one though, and there is a theme.
Oh,
there is a theme, and the theme is not letters.
Okay.
Would you like 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Number 3. Leroy does have 1.
It's not letters. I'm just kidding. That's Marquette.
Marquette is his guess. What's your confidence level there?
6.
6 out of what?
10.
No, I didn't know if you were going to go like 6 out of 7 or some different thing. And you are, I don't know how you do it. Correct. That is Marquette. Look at you. Marquette pulls out. Would you like 1 or 2?
1.
Number 1. Number 1. Apparently, you should have done a tidbit about the Georgia Southern Eagle dying. That's terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Blake says he was just at Marquette yesterday.
Blake just got elected to our park board. He needs to go get to work and go do some park stuff. I fully expect a sitcom, Blake.
So he's not. Why isn't he out there cleaning up the parks right now?
Call Parks and Rec or do something. Yeah, look at all the wind that just came through.
I think they've already done that one. Is he Andy? Or who is he in that show?
He's definitely Andy.
I've never met him, but...
Is this Sanford?
Sanford, is that your guess?
Yes.
Locking it in?
Yeah.
You are... Incorrect. That would be Seattle.
Oh, Avery's gonna be so mad at me.
Seattle. Steven came in with a Stetson guess.
He calls games for him.
Wow. Look at you. Some kind of friend you are.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
And your final one.
All right, let me ask it's phone a friend or whatever it's called.
Hey, Leroy is wanting your help in the comments section for this. He's going to use it on this instead of helping him on the theme. So we'll see if the comment section can help him on this one. Do you know this one?
I don't. I have an idea. I have an idea, but
well, I mean, you can talk through your idea. What's your idea? I mean, it doesn't have to be your final answer.
Something in the back of my head's like
Steven says Denver.
Dover.
Mike says Dartmouth.
Dartmouth was the other idea. Dartmouth was the other idea that I had. Dartmouth, Dover.
Paul says Dayton. They're going all over the board for you.
We're doing well. We're doing well, guys. This is amazing.
Denver, Dartmouth, Dayton. I'm going to tell you, it does start with the letter D.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. Just because I'm a nice guy like that.
You know what? I'll go with Dartmouth.
Dartmouth is his guess, and Dartmouth is correct. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Alrighty. So what's the theme then between Seattle, Dartmouth, and Marquette? Seattle, Dartmouth, and Marquette.
They all lead in most transfers for basketball. No,
remember, I do like to play into sometimes what's happening.
They've all fired their coaches.
No, that is incorrect. These schools have all lost in the NCAA championship game. These schools have all lost in the NCAA championship game. Seattle, Dartmouth, and Marquette have all lost. This might surprise you. The Seattle one was quite a while ago. Quite a while. But 2 out of 4.
That does not surprise me.
Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. All righty, time for a little play clock. Would you like to ask or answer?
I will answer first. I couldn't talk.
Clearly. That was a little bit of a struggle there. Alrighty. What and I may have asked you this before, and if I have, it's late and we've only done almost, I think today's 99. The 99th show of Leroy's Logos we've ever done.
Yep.
Or Leroy, or from
so
whatever.
100 episodes?
Is next week, I think. I think so. If my count is right. What is a food you like that other people would maybe like turn up their nose to?
Sun chips. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a big fan of sweet potatoes. I know a lot of people don't like sweet potatoes. I absolutely love sweet potatoes. Let's see, what else? Cottage cheese. Is that a big thing that people?
That's one that comes to mind. That would have been my answer because I like cottage cheese.
I like cottage cheese. I had to go to the grocery store to pick up some heavy whipping cream for Christy, and I saw cottage cheese, and I was like, "Ooh, I really want to buy some just for myself." But the problem is I can't ever buy anything in my house just for myself. I have to hide it and like behind like a lock. It's horrible in my house. But yes, cottage cheese or sweet potatoes is my answer.
Cottage cheese or sweet potatoes? Yeah, cottage cheese was one of the first ones. Or how do you feel about Vienna sausages? Or I know how some people say Viennese sausages.
Viennese?
Yeah, that's what they'll call them. I've heard them call that. Fried okra, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts.
Oh, Brussels sprouts. Ugh, one of the few things I cannot eat.
Okra. How do you feel about okra?
Never had it.
Really?
No.
Okra is like, and I might have just never had good okra, so Paul, you might call me crazy here, but it can be kind of slimy. And it's just like a texture thing, and it's just, I don't know what Christy is.
I used to call my hands Vienna sausages in the army because I have really small.
Got a little worried with where you were going with this. So Stevens is only fried okra. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had fried okra. Make sure the breading on it is crispy.
No, there's not too much food I hate. Liver and Brussels sprouts and rutabaga are probably the only three things that I don't like.
The Brussels sprouts, cabbage messes with my stomach. So I actually enjoy them, but I can't really eat them because it just...
I went to a really fancy restaurant when I was 12 years old, and they had Brussels sprouts there, and I tried them, and I remember gagging, and I was like, Mom, I can't. I have to spit this out. Mom was like, please try swallowing it. We're like at a fancy restaurant. Please. I'm like, nope, not going to happen. So I ended up having to like, in this like really like nice napkin and everything.
Oh. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite in your lifetime? Have you ever been April Fool pranked? And have you ever gotten anybody in a good April Fool's prank?
Not really. I mean, like, I don't really know that I have any. I guess so. When I was in high school, this is probably the best one as far as we were pranking. And really, it didn't work because I think for some reason we did a monthly video that came out for a media team. And I don't know why the timer's not moving, but it's supposed to be. My computer, it's wanting to stop. But I'll end it before the 40 seconds are up. But we would do a monthly like recap of what had happened in the school and so on. And the April one was supposed to come out April 1st, but for whatever reason, it didn't. But our entire premise was the show was getting canceled and it was never going to be able to do it again. And at the end, we posted that it was a joke, but people were actually very upset that it had happened. I don't know why my thing did go, but okay. Clock Lacey on the clock, Steven says. So our principal had to run the clock one time, and she got a couple of times too invested in the game and forgot to start the clock. And always makes for fun, right?
Yep.
Leroy, simple question for you. In fact, it's only 3 words. Is cereal soup?
Yes. Cold soup. What is that called? There's a term for cold soup. Yes. But it's a liquid you eat out of with a spoon. So yeah, I would say cereal is a soup. Basically, it's just cold soup, right? Like the premise is the same. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. That it is. The more I'm thinking about it, yeah, 100%. In fact, after this show is over, I think I'm gonna go have some soup right after. Right, some good old Lucky Charms soup.
Sounds terrible. Gosh, just the way you put it that way, Lucky Charms soup. Paul says no.
Of course, Paul says no.
Alrighty, I'm ready.
What fictional death? So, fiction means not true, not a real person for our audience.
Thanks.
What fictional death hit you the hardest?
Oh boy. One that I guess it's fiction but not fiction is, and this is just more of any movie that has this. You ever watch Marley and Me?
Yeah.
Ooh, the end of that. I mean, you know it's coming, but so the funny part about that is that when I went, I guess it was my 6th grade year when it came out, when the Owen Wilson movie, and we like read it, and then we went and saw the movie as a field trip and so on. And one of my good friends was Japanese and didn't really speak a lot of English. So all he did was look around at us. We're standing there crying because he doesn't understand what's happening. And he's just laughing his butt off at us the entire time. So how does Marley and Me answer? Even though I guess that's not fiction, but it's kind of fiction.
That's good enough for me, man.
Old Yeller.
Yes, I have eaten Cheddars. I like Cheddars.
Steven says Old Yeller, and Mike says Old Yeller too. Or also Dobby from Harry Potter.
Stop it before they shoot the dog, man. You're supposed to stop the movie after Old Yeller saves the family. You got to stop the movie, man.
Spoiler alert, Mike. I've never. Spoiler alert. Never seen Die Hard, so guess I knew that Hans.
But you knew what it was from.
I did. I knew Hans Gruber.
You know they made him fall before 3, so they were supposed to drop him on 3.
Is Hans Gruber? Is that Alan Rickman?
Yes. So they dropped. They dropped him on 2. They're like, okay, Alan, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then let go. They dropped him on 2. So his reaction, that when you see his facial reaction, that's legit because he was not ready for them to actually.
Is he the villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul says we ate there tonight. I would have rather eaten Subway or Olive Garden. It was garbage.
Surprise, surprise. Paul hates a restaurant.
I'm kind of with him. I'm not like Cheddar's is fine. You know, like it's
I wasn't
fine.
blown away by it. I mean,
it's fine. Like,
but there's not too many restaurants that I eat at that I've been just, oh my gosh, there's a taco restaurant in St. Louis. And if Christy's watching, she can say what the name of it is, because I don't remember what the name of it is. There's a Mexican restaurant.
We don't want to drop it. What if they want to sponsor?
I can't remember.
Are you really going to blow our sponsorship because you had one bad meal there? You're telling me that if they called you right now and said, here's $100 to go eat some tacos down there, you would be in your car almost immediately?
No, what I'm saying is there's a Mexican restaurant in St. Louis that there's not too much food that I go absolutely crazy for. Most restaurants I'm like,
this is really good?
Yes. Most restaurants I go to.
I thought you were going the opposite.
No, most restaurants I go to, I'm like, it's all right. It's okay. There's a taco restaurant in St. Louis that Christy and I go to. That it's amazing. And I would drop everything right now. If she was like, hey, let's go, I'd be like, done, see ya.
Uncle Julio's?
Uncle Julio's. Yep.
Uncle Julio's.
Oh,
interesting. Is it downtown St. Louis?
No, it's not. It's over in like the old part of the city.
Interesting. You ready to debut your new bracket?
I am. All right. So a couple things on this bracket that we start today, guys. So this is the greatest sports moments. No, I probably missed your favorite moment. Yes, I probably missed your all-time moment that you thought of. But I went through 3 different lists of top 100 moments. One of them was from Sports Illustrated, one of them was from ESPN, and one of them was some fan made it. Okay. So they're moments from the beginning of sports all the way till now. All right. They're all mixed up. There's no like, this is the top. Huh?
So you're saying that we could theoretically have the actual championship in the first round?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay.
You're saying it could be Miracle on Ice against. Now
yes.
This is greatest or most memorable?
This is the greatest sports moments. Greatest sports moments. All right. Please, I'm begging you, take off your bias and just look at these as a whole. Sam.
You, Mr. Green Bay Packer hatred. There's probably not a single Green Bay Packer one on there.
The Ice Bowl almost made it in.
Mike's giving you a suggestion there. Chevy's Fresh Mex in Olive in St. Louis.
Yes. All right, so here we go. We'll start things off, all right?
Okay. I do not know this.
Matchup number 1. You're right. And I'll probably share it with Sam. It took me forever to get this all loaded, but we got it loaded. We're all ready to go. Okay. Red Sox come back from being down 3-0 against the Yankees to win the ALCS. They would go on to win the World Series versus Dez Caught It.
Oh, you're putting Paul. You're starting Paul off with a.
That's what this is. Welcome to the madness. So all you gotta do is tell me which moment.
That was 2004, wasn't it? The Red Sox coming back from 3-0.
04 or 03.
That was the one that they went on and breaking the curse, right? Yeah. So
yes.
I'm voting for that. Red Sox is my vote.
04. Yes, Sam. 04.
Yeah, computer's gonna crash now. Yeah, probably, Paul. Probably. Mike is voting for the Red Sox. I assume you'll vote for Red Sox too.
Yes.
Steven is voting for the Red Sox is the better moment. And Paul's vote means nothing because that's 4-0. Oh.
So 4-0?
Yeah, Paul's still got a vote. But Red Sox moves on.
Okay.
Red Sox moves on.
All right.
Descott, it was not a great moment. What the hell?
Next up, Wayne Gretzky is the fastest ever to score 50 in a season, reaching the mark in his 39th game versus the Beastquake. And, of course, the Beastquake is out in Seattle.
During the World Series?
Huh?
Is that the one during the World Series?
No. The football game where
the run by Marshawn Lynch.
Yes,
okay,
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. In the playoffs against the Saints?
Fourth quarter, Seattle was up by 4 points. Lynch rushed for 67 yards, breaking 9 tackles, securing the Seahawks' 41-36 win over the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I'm going with the Beastquake. Yeah, without question. I mean, that I remember watching that live. That's one of the greatest runs I've ever seen in my life. 3 votes for Beastquake, 1 vote for Wayne Gretzky, because I know that's where you'll vote, right?
No, I'm voting Beastquake.
Really?
Yep.
Steven's voting for Wayne Gretzky, though. There you go.
Good.
You'll at least get that one. 4-1, though. The Beastquake moves on.
Okay, next up, we've got Vince Young. Hold on. I think it's slow. Vince Young with a record 467 yards of offense leads Texas to a win in the BCS championship.
One of the greatest games of all time.
That is taking on the Tuck Rule game.
Oh, God. I guess this might just be memorable, right? Not greatest, because I feel like the memorable is probably what we should say.
And some of these are not good. I'm telling you, but they are.
Yeah, so we'll not. Let's change it to the most memorable.
Okay.
Not great. It's memorable sports.
Memorable.
Moments. So the Tuck Roll, or what was the other one?
Vince Young going crazy in the BCS championship game.
I'm going to vote for that BCS championship game just because that was such a good game. Such a good game. And Mike, I think, is agreeing with me. 2006. Yeah, great game.
And I'm going with the Tuck Rule.
Steven is voting for us, going with Vince Young. You have Tuck Rule, so it's 3-1 right now in that. Paul, nothing would shock me on this. Nothing would shock me as to which way he would vote here. I feel like he's anti-Tuck Rule, anti-Brady, Vince Young. Yep, he's going with that. That's how I was feeling. So Vince Young, so it is the Rose Bowl that moves on.
Okay. Next up, maybe, we have Super Bowl 51. 28-3 Patriots come storming back in the fourth quarter versus Denny Green's. They are who we thought they were. Let them off the hook.
I mean, Dennis Green's rant there, pretty good one. But I mean, the 20-3 is one of the more memorable Super Bowl things. I know Mike's not going to vote for that, as he just admitted. Paul's voting for they are who we thought they were.
That's what I'm voting for.
Okay, so it's 2 votes for that, 1 vote for the Super Bowl for me. Paul's calling that the best rant. Mike's voting for Dennis Green. What a shock, going against Brady. And Steven is voting for myself, 3-2, going on our side here. And that is it. So it is they are who they thought they were, advancing, knocking out Brady in the first round. Wow.
All right. Next up, we have Michael Jordan's final shot in a Bulls uniform wins the championship against the Utah Jazz, where he allegedly pushed off, versus Luis Gonzalez's World Series walk-off against the Yankees. Yeah, this was the one I was not excited for. I saw it, and then I saw it pop up in my thing.
Gotta be Luis Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez versus Michael Jordan.
It's gotta be Luis Gonzalez.
Michael Jordan's game-winning game-winning shot against the Utah Jazz, where they won their 6th championship, versus Luis Gonzalez walk-off home run against the Yankees. And man, that's one of those weird ones that even now I remember that World Series so vividly. Diamondbacks were supposed to have no chance. Oh, I don't think he pushed off either. Come on now. It's Jordan, man.
Just smidge biased. Smidge. Just
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow, Paul's going against baseball. Interesting. I know he loved Jordan, but I thought his love of baseball. So I guess Michael Jordan moves on.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's a big baseball. That's one of the biggest baseball moments ever, eliminated in round 1. Wow.
All right. Next up, Bill Walton is almost perfect in the NCAA championship game, scoring 44 points on 21 of 22 shots versus Reggie Jackson hitting 3 home runs on 3 consecutive pitches in Game 6 of the World Series.
God, no, this one's awful. Like,
I know you and your love for Bill Walton.
I do love Bill Walton. And because of that, I'll vote for Bill Walton. I'll vote for Bill Walton just because I do love Bill Walton. May he rest in peace.
Reggie Jackson for me.
Mike's voting for Reggie Jackson. So it's 2 votes Reggie. Steven also voting for Reggie Jackson. 3 votes for Reggie Jackson. I'd assume Paul will also vote for Reggie Jackson. Yes, he does. So Reggie Jackson moves on.
Okay. Next up, Tiger Woods wins the Masters again after being out for a fairly long time. Tiger Woods comes back and wins the Masters.
Is this in 2019?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. I don't even need to know who he's going up against. It's going to have to be tough. It's going to have to be a really good one.
I hate this a whole lot. Blackhawks win in 17 seconds over the Bruins. Blackhawks scored 2 goals in 17 seconds to come back and beat the Bruins in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, sorry. That Tiger moment might win it all in 2019. That Tiger moment might win it all. Just, I remember sitting on the couch over there watching it, and Jim Nantz, the return to glory. What are you voting?
Blackhawks, but I know where this is going.
3 votes Tiger.
It wasn't even going to faze me.
I mean, that Tiger moment is
massive.
4-1 Tiger.
Massive. All right.
Is that it?
We've got a couple more here.
Are you doing the entire left side of the bracket, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesse Owens wins 4 gold medals in track and field at the Berlin Olympics versus McGuire beats Sosa in the home run race by hitting a home run and went barely over the wall, landed over on the left in the left field.
What was it like when you were there watching Jesse Owens?
He didn't seem that fast to me. Do you know who finished second in that race?
The funny thing is I just watched that.
Isn't that crazy? So for those who don't know,
Jesse Owens is my vote.
The guy that finished in second place in that matchup was Jackie Robinson's brother.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Which is crazy. The guy that finished in second place was Jackie Robinson's brother. He was a janitor for a school, and they were like, and he could run. And they were like, "Hey, we got these tryouts for the Olympics." And he was like, "Okay." He went and finished in second behind Jesse Owens.
What was the other one? Jesse Owens against who?
Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGuire in the 1998 home run race.
Now that was a great moment, but yeah, I'm gonna vote Jesse Owens. It's 3 votes Jesse Owens, 1 vote for McGuire.
Sosa McGuire.
3-2 though. Jesse Owens advances.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about the historical relevance of that, too, with Nazi Germany and so on, it's pretty impressive.
We've got a few of these on here. All right, Pete Rose breaks Ty Cobb's record for most career hits versus the Odell Beckham Jr. catch.
41-92. My mom was there. I have the ticket hanging on my wall.
Yeah?
My mom was there. Because if my memory, I remember she had tickets for that game. It was September the 11th was the game. And I remember she was like watching it and she came up to bat in the day before. And like, I remember she was sitting there like, don't get a hit, don't get a hit, don't get a hit, don't get a hit. Because obviously she had tickets the next day and wanted to be there in the case it did happen. It's 2 votes for Rose. Who's yours?
Pete Rose.
3 votes for Pete Rose. Paul's voting for Odell Beckham. Interesting. Knew he was such a big Odell Beckham fan, Paul Reeves. Pete Rose advances. Rest in peace to the Hit Gang.
Okay, give me a second here. Let me mark that off.
41-92.
Texas Western becomes the first school to start.
Steven and I can't vote for this, Leroy.
Championship game. Huh?
We can't vote for this. Whatever the next one, that's our vote.
They beat Kentucky for the title versus the butt fumble.
I'm voting for the butt fumble. Mark Sanchez. Yeah. Texas Western, they had their movie made, Glory Road. I'm voting for the butt fumble. Mark Sanchez. Every time I see him on Fox doing a game, that's all I can think of is, that. Yep, Steven's vote for the butt fumble. Mike's vote for the butt fumble. We might just be a smidge biased on this. As a Kentucky fan, we can't. Who are you? Are you voting for the butt fumble too?
Yeah.
The butt fumble. Butt fumble is unanimous. Watch his butt fumble end up winning.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
The butt fumble.
I'm so interested where this tournament goes. Oh my goodness. All right. Next up, the Immaculate Reception versus Simone Biles being crazy in Paris.
Simone Biles. Did I mention I'm voting for Simone Biles? Simone Biles advances. The rest of the votes don't matter.
The Immaculate Reception was a very important part of... Shut me off.
Nope. The most overrated moment in NFL history. Have you seen Simone Biles? She's awesome.
Yes.
She's awesome. Steven votes for Simone Biles. It's weird that his comment's not being... Look at that. You see me clicking. I'm trying. It just won't go up on the screen. It's wild how it works that way. So that's 2 votes for Biles, 1 vote for some other play. I don't even know what happened. What are you voting?
Yeah, I'll give you Biles.
Biles, says Leroy. Whatever. Of course you are, Paul. Of course you are. 3-2. It doesn't matter. Simone Biles advances.
Okay. All right. We just got a couple more of these. Michael Phelps wins a record 8 gold medals at the Beijing Olympics versus as there's a deep drive into left field and a home run for Nick Castellanos.
That's on this list?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Michael Phelps.
Granted, it is... Where is it? It is number 60 on the list. So 64, it's number 60.
Yeah, Michael Phelps. Tom Brenneman is not going to win this. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go with Michael Phelps. Anybody else?
Now if Mick was here, Mick, there would not be a moment that he would vote against. As there's a deep drive to left field. Michael Phelps, 3 votes. Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps.
All right. Next up, Muhammad Ali lights the flame at the opening ceremony of the Atlanta Olympics versus Jose Bautista's ALDS bat flip.
I'll go with Ali.
Yeah,
I have to as a Kentuckian. I have to vote for Ali.
Yes, he has, Paul. But there has to be a big event happening for Castellanos to do it.
Mike's voting for Ali. Are you voting for Ali?
That was such a huge moment. I know you were like 8 years old when that happened, but
me, I wasn't even born yet. Yeah, no, I wasn't even born yet. I was, no. Steven is pro Olympics, he says. So Ali advances. And you have to imagine Paul's vote for Ali too, based on Atlanta.
All right. 2 more. Lou Gehrig's farewell address versus Elio Castroneves wins his 4th Indy 500.
I mean, the Lou Gehrig. Yeah. And I consider myself today that the luckiest man on the face of the earth, right?
Yes. Yes.
Lou Gehrig.
Apparently, he died of some disease called Lou Gehrig's disease. Who would have saw that?
Something that he named killed him. Paul Seaton voting for Muhammad Ali for this one. Wild. Yeah, I'm voting for Gehrig on this. Steven's voting for Lou. You could just go ahead and move Lou Gehrig on.
I am.
There's no way that Helio Castroneves is beating that, as you well know.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, next up, the last matchup for tonight. Mark Spitz wins 7 Olympic gold medals in swimming versus 16 seed UMBC takes down Virginia.
It's got to be UMBC. Got to be that. Yeah, UMBC without question. Now the question is, Steven just said he's pro Olympics. Will this cause him to go against it? Rick Mears is a better IndyCar driver than Helio Castroneves. Do you buy or sell?
Buy.
UMBC, Mike. Steven says UMBC. Are you voting UMBC?
Yep.
UMBC advances.
Cool. All right. Do you want to hear some of the matchups that will come up next week?
No. Let's keep it. Let's keep it.
Cool.
We'll do that. So we've done the left side of the bracket today, and the right side of the bracket's next week.
Right side's gonna be next week.
Okay. So I to me, there is a relative. I mean, Tigers can be tough to beat on that left side of the bracket.
Yep.
41-92 is going to be tough to beat as well. But Tigers going to be real tough to beat. UMBC is unanimous as well. All righty. You got a couple of autographs here?
I do. Let's get to it. Okay. Maybe.
Good, because my drink's almost gone, and that's not a good thing.
I got you.
That, and I hear the storm start. I like, that, like, the thunder that's like, it's kind of that ominous, like, slow roll of, like, we're coming.
All right. These are all hockey players that played for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, God. I got one. I can name you one. Sidney Crosby. I mean, I don't know any of these. Yeah, no.
Well, see if anybody in the audience can help you.
Would I know this name?
Yes. At least I would hope so. All of these guys are in the Hall of Fame, or should be in the Hall of Fame.
I couldn't even tell you where the Hockey Hall of Fame is. Toronto or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Sidney. I've never heard of that person before in my life. So I'm going to go.
Has anyone in the comment section commented at all?
Mike just said Sergei Gonchar.
Gonchar. Nothing?
I have no idea.
All right. That is Mario Lemieux.
Okay. Yeah. See, I would have never got that.
All right. What about this one?
That's Sidney Crosby, isn't it?
There you go.
He is 87. Okay. I was going to say, I'm going to be able to tell you one. No, I have no idea on this last one.
All right. Last one.
I have no idea. Can give me the initials? Give me the initials. That's not going to help me.
JJ.
Jerome Yager.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Pulled it out of my book. Oh, Paul got that one too. Did I say his name right? Is it Yager?
Jeremy Yager, but yeah.
It said Jeremy? Is that how you say it?
No, it's Jeremy.
No, Jeremy. No,
yeah.
It's Jerome. It's spelled like Jerome, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. NASCAR heads to Darlington this week.
Ugh.
It's now time for me to do my first search here to see who I want to pick, because I've not done anything. Yaromir. So Steven knew that one too, of Jagger. Once you said JJ, that's the only one that could completely even come to my mind.
I tried to make it easy for you because I knew hockey was a pain in the butt for you.
Oh, I mean, see, I don't know any of them. Sidney Crosby's the only one that I could actually pull out. Okay. This week, if you want to drop your NASCAR pick of the week down low, we will put it in here. The standings right now, Paul's in first with 211 points. I have 207. Leroy is 197. John has 125. Mike, you have 58. Steven, I gave you 40. I gave you 42 points last week. You picked Rusty Wallace. Bubba Wallace came away with a good week, so I gave you the points there. And that is 39 points for Blake as well. Steven's going Bobby Allison this week. I don't think I'm going to be able to give him any points, but hey, you know what? I like it. You didn't think you were going to get a Bobby Allison mention on this pod, did you? I'm going to go with Kyle Larson. Who are you picking? Paul is also picking Kyle Larson.
Christopher Bell.
Mike is picking Dick Trickle. Is he? He's not dead, is he? You took your hat off. Oh, he is dead?
Oh, he's very dead.
Oh, is he? He didn't die.
He's very dead.
He didn't die in a wreck, did he?
No.
Okay.
He died of lung cancer because he smoked like a chimney.
Can you be a NASCAR driver in that era and not?
He literally had the cigarette lighter. He had a cigarette lighter installed in his race. He had it approved from NASCAR to install a cigarette lighter.
It's like Jim Leland.
Yeah, doing heaters at lap 86 of Talladega.
So, Mick, who one of my friends.
Yes.
His Xbox handle is Mick Trickle.
Mick Trickle.
His fantasy league is at 2. So Paul also taking Kyle Larson. Do I want to switch my pick? You know what? I'll do it. No, I won't. No. I'm gonna put this in here. I was considering switching to Reddick, but I'm not going to.
Okay, so when Reddick wins this week, we've got you. Yep, that you would have.
Mike's gonna take William Byron. Actually, not taking Dick Trickle. I actually wish you would have taken Dick Trickle. Alrighty, Winston Cup, baby. He did what in his cup? One of my favorite lines from a Disney movie. The Piston Cup. He did what in his cup? Listen, it's the best Disney movie ever made.
It ranks up there.
What's better?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood?
Yeah.
Do I need to pull the picture up, Mr. Still one of the best pictures I've ever taken in my entire life. Could not have had the timing any better or anything from when you were.
Brilliant.
So next week, we'll be back normal time.
Yep.
Hopefully have a Nader bearing down on us. If you're in my neck of the woods or even in Leroy's, stay safe. I know it's supposed to get pretty nasty here.
Yeah, we've already had all our events canceled for the weekend.
It's going.
Both UIS and the racetrack have canceled all their events for the weekend. So,
and ours is.
By the way, I know you got to go, but UIS took on Lincoln this weekend. Lincoln was 2-22 coming into the series. UIS absolutely just wiped the ever-living floor out of them. And it was one of those things where they had a pretty good offense, but their best ERA guy was 8. Their best pitcher had an ERA of 8. It's like, oh, okay, it's gonna be one of those. Got it. All right, well, good. At least they got some softball going.
Makes for fun, though, right?
Huh?
It's fun, though, right?
Yesterday's baseball game was awful. We were up 8-3, or we were down 8-3, came back and won. But the wind is just slapping you in the face the whole time. And you're just like, come on. I don't even care at this point who wins. Mm-hmm. Just let's go.
Mm-hmm. Just ready to go home. I've done one or two of those games. It's like when a team's down 20 and they start fouling on the stretch.
Yes, I love baseball, but don't cut within 10. I get to go home if you don't cut. No, don't cut within 10.
All righty. Well, we will see you back next week for next week's edition of the show. We'll have another round of this bracket here. Injury bug coming for the Cubs, and we're going to get Acuna and Strider back.
You should just be happy you're actually
I hope. I cannot wait for this to be like one game, like that last week of the season. And can you imagine if it goes to where they have to do like a one-game playoff? And I don't think that's possible to not.
What do we do if the teams have this? What do we do if it's not going to happen? But what are we doing if the teams have the same record?
I think I think it's a coin flip. I think we said. I thought we agreed that a couple of weeks ago that it's a coin flip.
Okay.
A coin flip, or maybe we can come up with something more creative to break. Because I feel like one of you is going to have to do, or do you both have to do it then? If it's a tie, I got
both have to do it.
Yeah, it's not getting wiped off. Somebody is going to do this. So Paul says,
"No, Paul, don't encourage him.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin." So that's what
the coin has never been kind to me.
Flip a coin. Well, what it would be if it'd be tied? Or maybe we can just convince the Braves and the Cubs to play a one game. Or how about this? If it's tied, but it's a playoff series and it's Braves versus Cubs, that's the tiebreaker.
Absolutely.
And I think that can override the coin flip.
Yeah.
So like if we do it, but they meet in the playoffs, but honestly, that doesn't overrule though the regular season. So like if the Braves beat the Cubs by 2 games, but the Cubs beat the Braves in the playoffs, that doesn't. They'll do this. And Paul, take the coin flip.
Go take the coin flip right now. You just want to end it. Just take the coin flip.
That's funny. Looking forward to watching that as it goes along for the rest of this. Have a good rest of your night and don't get blown away by a nader.
Stay safe, all right? I know what kind of night you're about to have, so
hopefully not.
I wish you all the best.
Hopefully not.
I've absolutely been right
by, and we'll have nothing to worry about. But until next time, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.